Welcome to 28storms.com. This is your Sunday afternoon tropical weather update on August 7th. The big headline yesterday was that the recon was able to find enough supporting evidence for the Hurricane Center to reinstate advisories for Tropical Depression Emily, but fortunately, as of 5 p.m. today, the Hurricane Center has written the final advisory as this system has really fallen apart. You would be lucky to even find it if you didn't know that there was a tropical cyclone out there. As you can see, much of the Gulf Caribbean and even much of the western Atlantic is quiet, but here we go. This is the remnant swirl of Tropical Depression Emily. Here's all the trailing convection here to the southwest of the center. That's in part due to a lot of northerly wind shear, and all of this convection is being drawn out by a mid to upper level trough. So Bermuda's got nothing to worry about. If anything, you may get some passing shower activity over the next couple days, but that's more so related to that non-tropical trough than having any tropical cyclone in the immediate area. And also, if we look across the Gulf Caribbean and even Central Atlantic, there's really no systems of interest here. There's just a lot of dry air and wind shear, so we're looking fairly good in the tropics for the foreseeable future. With all that being said, we still will keep our focus more toward the coast of Africa over the next 7 to 10 days. That is going to be the area that we continue to watch. And sure enough, we now have 92L invest that has been declared right off the coast of Africa, and the Hurricane Center has not put out an outline here in the Tropical Weather Outlook, but they have decided to run the Tropical Model Suite. And you can see that many of the model members just take this more so on a general west-northwest course throughout the next 5 days. Turning to the latest satellite imagery, you can see the tropical wave in question right around here once the animation ends, and toward the very end of the animation you notice that much of the convection has weakened significantly, although there are indications that it still has a well-defined low-level circulation despite having a lack of convection. And the real lack of convection is due to, if we go back just one moment here, we see that there is some pocket of dry air just to the north, and also if we go back to the infrared, we see that there's a lot of stratocumulus clouds, which is an indication that the environment surrounding the Cape Verde Islands is a bit stable. And frankly, none of the models really show any imminent development, but we will keep a close watch on this as it makes it into the Central Atlantic. We're now looking at the latest 18Z GFS, and the model is picking up on the 1011 millibar low to the southeast of the Cape Verde Islands. And we can see that over the next 72 hours, the GFS does not want to show much in the way of tropical development. We're now looking at the early Wednesday morning time frame. It's still at about 1011 millibars, so it's not even fully closed off on the GFS. And if we run this all the way through about day 6 and day 7, we see that the model still doesn't really show much here. If anything, it's just a weak tropical wave here to the east of Puerto Rico, and in the meantime it's showing a stronger tropical wave beginning to exit the coastline by next Saturday afternoon. So nothing imminent on the GFS, but it does show a bit more of an active African wave train. The same can be said for the 12Z CMC. This is the initial wave. It doesn't do much with it, and in fact, much like the GFS, it's a little bit stronger here by day 6 with that second tropical wave to the south of the Cape Verde Islands. The 12Z ECMWF is also not that aggressive. This is the current time, day 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, it did take a stronger wave off the coast within the 48 to 72 hour range, but then by 96 hours it really begins to weaken here between 15 and 20 degrees north, and then by day 5 there's really not much sign of a tropical wave out there. It does just keep things fairly weak to the point to where you really can't track it that well on the vorticity chart. So to sum it all up, we can finally say goodbye to Emily, as it will not be posing a threat to anyone, including the interests in Bermuda. We do have a newly formed 92L invest, a tropical wave just to the west of the African coast, but the chances of development within the next 2 to 3 days are relatively low, although we will continue to keep an eye on it as it begins to move west into the Central Atlantic. And then we could also have a bit more of an intense tropical wave begin to exit the coast of Africa by around day 6 to day 7. So overall, we're still looking fairly good out there today, and check back again tomorrow afternoon for another 28storms.com tropical weather update.